this request, press 4. For Jan... Good morning, this is Janae.
Hi, Janae. This is Jared Robbins. I had called you yesterday, left a voicemail for you.
Hey, Jared. Yeah, I was out of the office. What can I do for you?
Well, I have some questions about why they're giving us this 30-day notice. What's up with that?
They are taking the house off of the rental market, and so they just need you to vacate. They can be flexible with the timing, though. I did ask them about that, and they said yes, they can be a little flexible with it. So just if you can just keep us posted on, once you do your shopping around and are able to secure something, then you would just let us know what the ballpark time frame is to be moving in. Mm-hmm. And they said they can extend a little bit longer, but there is a point they will need the house back. So,
well, here's the thing. It's going to take we do have a property that we are eyeing, but it's not going to be ready until September because it's undergoing renovations following some winter water damage. We have been shopping around, and the only places that are available in Ozark are apartments, which are absolutely far too small for our family. Mm-hmm. We are going to need we're going to need more than 30 days, especially given the fact that here's a couple of mitigating factors. Last Friday, my wife and I tested positive for COVID.
Okay.
And she's immunocompromised with type 1 diabetes. So she may be able to get back to work this Friday. She may not. I'm a substitute teacher. I may not be able to get back into school for another couple of weeks, depending on Ozark's policies. So that, coupled with the fact that the day they want us out is a day that we had planned. We already bought tickets and reservations and all that to fly out to New Mexico to see my family. We had already bought these reservations 2 months ago. So that gives us, realistically, I mean, we're on doctor's orders for just bed rest. So we can't do anything in the nature of packing. We can't get out we can't get out and search. We're not working, so we have our income stream is kind of cut for the moment. This really, I mean, my frustration is not with you. I understand you're just the messenger, so I'm not going to shoot the messenger here. But it really could not come at a worse time. And like I said, we do have a property that we know the owners, and we're working with them, trying to help them get the property renovated. Well, not currently working with them, of course, but beginning sometime after July, we're going to be working with them to complete the flooring, and ideally it'll be ready by probably late August, maybe mid-September.
Well, your lease renews July 1st, so you wouldn't have been able, to move out after July 1st, you're paying buyout fees at that point.
Sure.
So,
See, that's what I was kind of confused was because the lease agreement says it automatically renews July 1st, but then the letter said that they wanted us out like 30 days. So, I mean, we like the house and we want to stay here for as long as we can. We're doing our best to take care of it. We're maintaining the lawn. I personally have actually been over fertilizing it. It looked pretty dead and peaked, and now it's looking really great. We're putting down a little bit of mulch up front just in the flower bed, just to kind of make things look a little bit more presentable. We treat the house like it's our own, and I mean, if they could give us until probably, I would say at the latest, late September to secure something, that would be fantastic. And I'm even willing to pay more than what we are currently paying now, for that. Um, I
I
don't know.
think they're returning before then, so I don't know that they're going to be able to extend that long. They'll need the house. They had said they could extend into July, but that would be the longest that they could extend. I just think we just need to play it honestly week by week at this point. If you already have been looking, then you need to just continue that search. And so thankfully, you're in the process of that already. So you have through June 30th was the letter. So, and then it just week by week based on what you're finding, but if you're moving in, if you're already planning on moving in September, then you've got funds obviously to move, because that's a pretty expensive move out to break the lease at that point with us. So if there's someone else that you can stay with or work something out with that family, if it's livable enough to move into in July,
it's not.
Then
I'm kind of confused because I thought it was a month to month beginning July 1st.
No, it is month to month beginning May 1st. The lease comes to an end April 30th. So your move out options are April, May, June. The lease renews July 1st.
Okay.
So if you move anytime after June 30th, you pay a buyout fee because at that point you're breaking another lease.
How long would be the lease for if we were...
July 1st through the next April 30th. It stays on that cycle then.
Okay.
Every year moving forward. So.
Okay. I guess I'm confused because I thought they wanted to move... I thought they wanted to move into the house before April of next year.
No, they're coming back in the next couple of months. So that's why they need the house now.
So if we have a lease that begins July 1st and ends April of next year, what is the what's the owner's plans?
Your lease doesn't renew. That's what your letter said.
Mm-hmm.
The lease terminates June 30th and will not renew. So it can't renew July 1st because you've been given notice to vacate June 30th.
I guess
you will not go back into a lease if you stay beyond June 30th. But that's just their prerogative if they want to be generous and offer that. But if you're going to try to pull that, then you have to be out by June 30th, and there is no option for extending.
Well, see, I don't want to try to pull any fast ones. I want to... We need to stay here as long as we can. How much would the lease buyout be if we were out here...
It's equal to 2 months rent. So $27.90.
So even though they want us out by June 30th and are okay with us staying until the middle of July, we would still be charged 2 months rent even though they don't want us here for another 2 months after that?
No, if you allowed the lease to renew and you're trying to say, well, if we just stay, the lease renews, which I've already put in writing, the lease will not renew.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not an option. The lease will not renew. I'm just saying, if we had not sent you this letter and everything just went along as normal, and then in September you told me you're moving, you would be paying a 2 month buyout fee.
Okay. Well, we definitely...
But I've told you in writing that there is not a renewal option. The lease will not renew this year, and it terminates on June 30th.
Right.
Period.
Right. And
they have also offered, if you need another week or two, they would be willing to extend that move-out date. The lease will not renew, but they would be willing, so long as you are in the process of securing a house and know there's a timeline that you're working with.
Well,
if you're just sitting there because you don't want to move, that's a whole different ballgame.
No, we're not just sitting here because we don't want to move. As soon as we got that yesterday, I started looking, but all we're finding around here is apartments, which are much too small for
Mm-hmm.
us. As you can imagine, we're we're a family with a
Yeah.
16-year-old son, 2 cars,
Yeah. Oh,
blended
I
household.
understand.
Yeah. So I'm
Would it
not.
be something that would be an option just until you could get in that house in September? Could you find something that just you kind of tough it out for a few months, though?
No, no.
Just get
There's
that comfortable.
no. It's apartments are not an option for us, especially with the cost of hiring a moving team to come in and move us out. And with no, it's apartments just aren't an option. And
Okay.
there's no one that we could stay with here. I don't have any family. Her mom doesn't have the room for us. There's no other options that we have. And there again, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to set the stage here for the predicament that we are in. We would need at least until the beginning of August. I would say at the absolute earliest. Like I said, I'd be willing to increase our rent up to $1,800 a month. Month to month or whatever. Um, if they'd be willing to work with us and make some kind of exceptions to the clause. Of course, I don't have the money to do a 2 month buyout. That I just don't have $3,000 sitting around. And if I did, that would have to go towards $2,500 for a moving team to come in and pack us up in a day. You understand? I mean, we're just living paycheck to paycheck here. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
I understand.
If the owners would be willing to draft up something that would allow us to stay until draft up just a new temporary lease that would allow us to stay until end of August for, say, I don't know, between $1,500 and $1,800 a month. We'll sign it. We'll be glad to do that. We need the time in order to get our ducks in a row in order to get moved.
So are you basically just trying to create it so that you can stay there until the other house is ready that you're helping work on?
Essentially, yeah. Because
and are you guaranteed that you're going to get to move into that house?
It's pert near guaranteed. I'm also working on getting us pre-qualified for a home buy through the VA. So it's I've got a couple of irons in the fire here. Believe me, I'm not. We're not. I am not the kind of tenant who's just going to try to sit here and be like, I don't want to move. Which I mean, it's true. We love the house. We don't want to move, but I understand they want their house back. So, we'll, if we could meet in the middle somewhere, I'll be more than happy to pay whatever extra, sign a temporary lease for a few months, do whatever I can do to help us meet in the middle for something that we can both mutually agree upon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to be absolutely
Another
reasonable.
idea I would throw out, since you're kind of in limbo on what direction you're going to go in reality, you might consider if you can pay that much a month, you might look at short-term rentals also, including Airbnbs. But there's also some communities that offer short-term rentals, month-to-month rentals, and so that would probably be a good option as well. Just because, in one breath, yes, you're moving into this house in September, which you were going to kind of walk out on us over it, but then at the same time you're looking at maybe buying. So in reality, you're not 100% sure which direction you're going, which is fine. I mean, it's a big decision when you're talking about buying versus renting. But you also should look into what short-term rental options are, Airbnbs, VRBOs, where you could just get settled into a house month to month to make that decision. Because I feel like if I talk the owner into this, it still is no guarantee that the August is going to be enough time for you. So I think right now we work on June 30th and explore your options, do your homework. It's still 6 weeks, of good, that's a good, or 5 weeks of time that you can really work on. You can learn a lot in the next few weeks on what direction would be good and be pretty close to June 30th, if not, mid-July, in making a decision and getting something secured. There's this market in our communities. This market gets really busy right now. And so you're going to have a lot of options now that you wouldn't have had a few months ago and that you won't have in the fall. So our communities, the summers are very busy, spring and summer on move-outs. So you may have a lot more options now that you didn't have back when you were originally looking at housing and found us. Things were slower back then. And so for now, just do your homework and keep me posted on it. Something great will show up that's a good short-term option, just so you guys know for sure. Because you don't want to make a commitment to that family. If you're able to buy, that's an awesome avenue to go down.
Well,
you do not want to pass up that either.
That's the thing is we're working on getting a pre-qual, but there's no guarantee that that's actually going to happen. So the truth is, we would be much more comfortable with drafting some kind of lease and paying, because let me tell you, the cost of packing up this entire house with a moving crew and then moving us to somewhere. We looked at Airbnbs and Verbos in this area, and we don't. There's just nothing that's affordable for us. I can pay that, anywhere from $1,500 to $1,800 a month, and that's just increasing what I'm paying by $400 a month, and I don't have to worry about paying a moving crew to come in and pack things up and all that, and we don't have to worry about any of that. It's really a lot more beneficial for us if they were willing to work with if they were willing to work with us in that regard. I'm willing to. I mean, even if we found something that was great, we pretty much have our hearts set on this house on Red Bridge Road that we're waiting on finishing renovations for, and that'll be sometime in August and September. So, right now, to keep, honestly, to keep my wife from being too worried right now as she's recovering from COVID, I'm more than happy to sign whatever I need to commit us to, to something in the short term with the owners, paying up to $1,800 a month until August or September, whatever they'd be willing to work with. I'm more than happy to do that. I'm more than happy to lock us into this commitment and not walk out early. I guess I was under the impression that as a month to month we had that ability prior to, but as of this conversation, my understanding in that is corrected. So that wouldn't be an option for me.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. We're more than happy to, if they can work with us, we can work with them. I can make the money happen, increasing our rent, and I'm more than happy to commit us to something in the short term until August, September. Like I say, if they can work with us, I'll bend over backwards to do what I can to work with them. I want to be as reasonable as possible here, as long as they can do likewise with me. I hope that sounds, reasonable on my behalf.
Yeah, I can certainly ask. I mean, for now, as it stands, it's just June 30th, and then kind of play it by ear. But I will certainly ask for you and see what they're willing to do. I just know they're coming back from another country, and their timeline is kind of specific also, and so it just kind of depends on how flexible they can be in finding somewhere else to stay until they can have the house.
Yeah. If I need to pay a little bit more than that in order to help them afford that, like I say, just let me know.
Okay.
I am more than willing to do whatever I can to save my wife the stress having to um having to worry about a move. Um,
Hmm.
like I say, it's I have time on my hands because I'm a disabled veteran. I just work part time, but she works full time as a medical assistant. Um, she's got health problems that she worries about. You know, things that worry her cause her physical strain, and as the husband, I try to take on most of that since I can, since I have the time anyway. And the disability check that I receive, allows for, a little bit of leeway um, in the rental department. Like I say, if you can talk to him and tell him that my finances are not exactly finite, I can increase the amount of rent to. I can even push it as high as $2,000 a month if it just saves my wife the stress of having to pack and move and then figure out where I'm going to get $2,500 for a moving crew to come in and get us out. You know, those I those guys do not run cheap. So
Yeah, no, I just moved recently, and we just did it ourselves, though. And
yeah,
there's no reason to fork out that kind of money.
yeah, it's
Right.
if it yeah my for reasons I really can't get into, it's more beneficial for us to hire moving crews. Due to my physical disabilities and my wife's time away at work, it's just that much easier. But I mean, I'm pretty much. I hate to sound like I'm pleading, but I'll if they're willing to work with me, I'll do everything that I can to you know to make it worth their while, financially
Okay.
or otherwise. You know,
All right. Well, I'll touch base with them, and I'll just be in touch with you once I hear back.
sounds good. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate
All
your
right.
time.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.